Steps in the dark come together. Gotta keep on moving or I will die. Don't stop the dance. Well, what have we come across in the first 24 hours of knocking on doors saying, excuse me, speed of light's wrong. I did this last year, but I didn't apply myself last year because I don't know what I was, obviously the time wasn't right, but it's right now. We have passed the first couple of hurdles. Two separate entities have looked at these numbers and they love it. I think it's fantastico. How many of you saw this before? Is the kind of attitude that I'm getting. First two hurdles, right? Two independent, don't even know each other. But then we get to the next step. Now, I've just learned something, right? Again, it's just unbelievable. So, contesting the speed of light, obviously, right? Because it's wrong, it's absolute, it's common sense, it's easy to work out, okay? Where do you go? Where do you go? So, after a lot of Googling, it's something that I didn't find last year. And I sent a few emails out last year, but again, I didn't apply myself. I'm ticking on all the right boxes. There is a history archives, planet Earth's history archives, right? So what I did, I typed in, who owns the speed of light? Because where do you go with something like this, okay? Now, planet's history archives, right? I didn't know about this. It's the same as the Wikipedia thing, right? So if anybody thinks something is wrong, you can email in, right? Say, look, excuse me, I think we could maybe put absolute there instead of 299,792 kilometers per second, right? But guess where these archives are? Go on, one guess. The US of A. Guess who owns, for some reason, all of the planet's history, the archives? It belongs for anybody to have any say in what is in those archives, in those records. The minimum requirement is to be an American citizen, right? Now, science is right in America. They've taken over, haven't they? Right? And now they've got the history. How come they've got the planet's history? They are writing the planet's history. Now, the reason I'm here now with quietly elevated blood pressure, high-pitched voice, is because the first person to ever have anything to do with light is Roma. And guess who else was mentioned? Fizzo. Galileo, it is said, this is what the guy at History Archives, because it's there when you type in who owns the speed of light. Galileo asked two assistants, one to go up one hill, one to go up another hill, and as they lifted their lantern doors, Galileo was trying to work out, well, that was fast, but did you see that later? That didn't happen, because Galileo is not an idiot, all right? But it's there. They've got the history. They've got Roma, who discovered the speed of light by observing Io as it took longer and longer to come out from behind Jupiter. Those things didn't happen. But now, who's got control of it? Now this is not, how do you call it? Not fair. Yeah, fair. It's not the right way to do things. Why have they got control of the planet's history records? They're the ones that are telling us how old the universe is because of the speed of light that they say, right? it's just this one-sided game that they're playing, right? This is horseradish. Nobody gets to own. They put anything they want on there. This is rubbish. This is rubbish. I hope a lot of people who weren't aware of this, see what I'm saying here, right? The US control everything. So what's going on, right? Lies, lies, lies. Right, so that's where we're at. So I emailed, I'm going to drop the email, right? I'm going to do this reel, and then I'm going to drop the email that I sent the people at the History Archives, because I'm not a US citizen. But you're allowed to send an email and, you know, rattle the cage a little bit. But that's about it. They could just come back and say, sorry, mate, I think you're wrong. I think you'll find that Roma did do the impossible, and Pizzo as well. A magical beam of light. Not a leg. That'll be it, literally. So then it will be a case of knocking on some recognised science person's door here and saying, listen, this is what they're doing, right? Liars. What else is there? Power, isn't it? Lying about the moon landings, lying about the speed of light, lying about everything. Relativity. That's going to crash with this, right? And now they've got the History Archive, so it doesn't even matter whether they're right or wrong. They get to write the history. Talk about swear and stuff, but I've behaved myself lately. All right, peeps. I'll let you know when I get a reply to that email. Very interesting. It all depends on the person. You never know. Imagine if the person's somebody like me. Oh, he'll go, finally somebody. Yes, mate, Roma. Let me tell you. And then, but what are the chances? It's going to be some subjective, lying, got to keep control, but just like we have it now, person. Because that is the kind of people we're dealing with. And to be proven wrong, just look at yourselves, right? It's that ego, right? You don't want to be proven wrong. You want me to be, you don't care what happens. You just want me to be wrong, don't you? Well, I'm not wrong, right? I'm not. So giddy up. Drop those egos and get on the right side of history, right? We're not going to get many chances. 7:40, that wasn't bad, that would do. All right, peeps. I might take the rest of the night off. Laters.